one for the ages. You can outscore 30 points from the three-point line and still win. It's mathematically almost impossible. Almost impossible. And I'm going to rack my brain, but I don't know if I've ever coached against a team that took 45 threes. That's now what we will break down tonight. How many of those were off the bounce? How many were off the catch? That's an amazing effort. You got to give them a lot of credit. I mean, they made them. The big issue is they had 13 more shots than us, and that was because of our turnovers the first half. And what's perplexing about coaching is the first half we're 2 for 8 from the line, and the same guys go 20 for 24. Well, the rims didn't change in Freedom Hall. And, you know, what we talked about after the game is learning from it. We'll be on the court in the morning, 3 groups of individuals starting less than 12 hours from right now. That's why I'm not bringing any of those guys in here. They're getting treatment. We're going to individuals in the morning, and then we'll practice tomorrow afternoon at 3:30, and we'll be right back there on Sunday. And boy, if there's ever been a film with the ability to teach from, it'll be this one. And that's what coaches are. They are teachers. You use this as a learning situation, and you get better between now and Purdue. I think it's 13 days. 12 days.
You've been that team coming into a D1 exhibition or whatever and being, ready to roll. And they came in ready. I think, they didn't make many mistakes defensively against you. They were pretty solid. They weren't giving up anything back door early. And when you talked to your guys, was it a question of, were you ready to play, or did you just not?
No, I think you give them credit. No, I think we were excited about playing. We practiced great up to it. I mean, the bottom line is they made 16 threes. I mean, and it wasn't like they were banking them in. I mean, you give them credit. They hit them. Now, again, when I break it down, how many are off the bounce, how many are off the catch, then we will teach accordingly. But I know right now, before watching the film, the vast majority were off the catch. The numbers don't lie. When you make players take a minimum of 1 dribble, the percentages drop drastically. And we've taught that accordingly. The last time we were on this court, Liberty went 15 for 25. We know that. Now you could say, well, they had an unbelievable night. Wait a minute. First time, I'll buy that. Second time, no, I'm not buying that. Well, now let's give credit. We shot 59-6.
Yeah.
But again, we shot 59-6, but they get 13 more shots than us because we turned it over 16 times. Let's just do the math. Let's say we get 8 more shots. Our turnovers are in half. And I will break down how many were forced or unforced. All right, 60%, 5 out of 8. That's 10 more baskets, 10 more points. All of a sudden, you win the game by 13. Nobody's saying a word. Well, that's what the greatest weakness of a great shooting team is, when you turn the ball over, because you rob yourself of opportunities. It's a killer to a great shooting team to turn it over. And what you break down is how many were forced, how many were unforced. It's not a happy locker room. They did.
Got baskets. They made offensive plays. They got stops when you needed them. They did a lot of that stuff. That it's just kind of competitive veteran guys, and it doesn't always take over.
Well, I've never seen anyone that's through learning. If you're through learning, you're through. Old coaching saying, if you're through learning, you're through. So I understand they are veteran guys. They dug in. Got critical stops, hit free throws, did all the winning things short of some unnecessary fouls. But when you're through improving, you're through. And that has to be our approach tomorrow morning. And it will be. I promise you. I know that team too well. I'm going to tell you this right now. I'll tell you how good this team is. The biggest basket in that game was the backdoor cut to C.J. Fleming. That was called by our players. That was literally designed. C.J. Fleming said, they're going to overplay me. Ethan, drive it at me, and I'm flying to the rim. Biggest play of the game. And that came from them. That came from them. Rocky, get all those players in the locker room. I want to talk to everybody. Get everybody in the locker room. That came from them. That's incredible. And I have no ego in saying that whatsoever. That is incredible leadership. That came from C.J. Fleming, and Ethan Claycomb's execution was incredible.
Just one last thing for me. You got such a road in front of you and opportunity after opportunity. I know it's one at a time, and I'm sure they're excited about it. But how much has that kind of driven your preseason offseason?
Oh, it's driven every day. You get in the weight room at 6:30 in the morning on June the 7th because you know who you're going to play. You know, we had our walkthrough today. Our walkthrough's at 10 o'clock. I started at 9:34. I could have started at 9:20. That's how eager they were to get going. So I'm not upset about that at all. We've got to clean up the defense of the three, and it starts with guarding the ball. It does. If you want to get technical, a lot of threes come off penetration, and you've got to, that first line of defense, you got to guard the ball. In fairness, this is getting into coaching. It's tough because we don't play like that. We pass so much that we don't guard off the bounce a lot because we don't do that. So in a way, it's my fault. We don't guard that a lot because that's not how we play. And I hope that's clear to everybody.